Hello Windy City travelers and explorers, tour guide Andy here with Free Tours by Foot, and today I have a very exciting tour to give you, which is a tour of the Riverwalk. That's right, over the next few minutes we are going to be walking the entire length of the Riverwalk from right here at the confluence where the two major branches of the Chicago River meet, all the way east to Lake Michigan. We are going to cover history, the best restaurants and drinks that you can have while on the Riverwalk. We're going to see the site of the SS Eastland disaster. We're going to talk about our bridges and see some gorgeous architecture along the way. Now, if you've taken our in-person Riverwalk tour, this is going to be a decidedly different video. As you can see, we start 2 blocks west of that meeting point, and we're going to be talking about different locations on purpose. That means that if you haven't been to Chicago yet or taken our in-person Riverwalk tour, I hope you make it here soon. This video should serve as an excellent DIY guide to the Riverwalk. So settle in and let's go. We are beginning our Riverwalk tour just north of Lake Street, where it all practically began in the 1670s when French-Canadian trader and explorer Louis Joliet and Father Jacques Marquette were mapping out the waterways along the Mississippi in the middle part of what is now the United States for the French. And that is when local Native Americans showed them a way where they could portage their canoe over land and get to Lake Michigan. This site here is called Wolf Point. This is the location of the Saginaw Hotel, which was one of the very first structures built during Chicago's official establishing in the 1830s. This also, while it's hard to imagine as we walk today, all of the river did not always look so beautiful and relaxing and recreational. This was the old canal area of old shipping yards, specifically in this area, cold storage plants for our meat industry. But in the early days, this would have also been where we traded for our lumber and our wheat and our grain. When you start on the Riverwalk, you see this is all open to the public, lawn chairs with art. This art is rotational, so it actually changes out pretty frequently. So when you visit, you might see some different art as you walk east towards the Franklin Street Bridge. Behind me is the colossal Merchandise Mart, added to Chicago's skyline in 1930 by Marshall Field and Company. It takes up 2 city blocks. What is still today the world's largest retail space with over 4 million square feet of space available. Originally, it was designed for wholesalers and businesses to have a one-stop shop for everything they needed when starting their store. Today, it remains open for shopping, but it's more commercial and mixed real estate. So a great place for you shoppers to pop in. There's a couple good food options in the food court as well. Now, the Riverwalk was built in stages during Mayor Rahm Emanuel's tenure, and it actually wasn't completed until 2016. And as you're going to see, it has a lot of recreational use, a lot of alcohol, a lot of breweries and wineries and the like. But down here towards the confluence, it's a bit more quiet. This entire room between Franklin Street and Wells Street is a botanical garden. Here between Wells Street and LaSalle, you can get my favorite gelato in Chicago, Sweet Home Gelato. You can also rent out a boat from the downtown docks. It's here between LaSalle and Clark Street Bridge that you can relax on the stairs like a local and enjoy that gelato while you view the Reed Murdoch building. This is a large grocer headquarters for Reed Murdoch. It was built in 1914. Today it's known for its asymmetrical size. It has 5 bays on its west side and 6 on the east after part of the building had to be removed in the 1920s to expand LaSalle Street. It's a great example of the Chicago School of Architecture, which we cover in our Birth of the Skyscraper tour on this channel. So here between Dearborn and Clark Street Bridge is Tiny Tap. This is one of two brewery options for you. They do have coffee and water and sodas as well, or a nice cocktail for you to enjoy. And then before we leave this space, I also am going to pull over here and talk about a very important event in history that took place right there under that bridge. When you are at Tiny Tap, take a look under the Clark Street Bridge. In 1915, employees of Western Electric Company, hoping to spend a beautiful day on the river, instead boarded the SS Eastland, which rolled over and capsized right here under the Clark Street Bridge before it even left the dock, leaving 844 of its employees gone. If you take our Haunted History and Ghost Tour, you'll get the full story about that. It's our big finale right here on the water at night. And yes, there are a couple ghost legends involved. The next room between State Street and Randolph Street is the Winery Room. This is after the Tiny Tap, another great place where you can stop and get a drink along the waterway. You'll also have a great view behind you of the Marina Towers. There on the left, that is a Bertrand Goldberg building added in the 1960s. And right next to it, the black aluminum Mies van der Rohe building, today the ABA Plaza, originally the IBM building right there. Both of those are heavily featured on our in-person tour, but they represent great updated skyscrapers added to our skyline in the mid-1900s. Of course, right next to it, you are seeing Trump Tower. We'll get a better view of that as we go. All right, once you cross the State Street Bridge on the Riverwalk, you get a third drink option at the Chicago Brew House. I said earlier, there's a lot of alcohol down here. This is a great recreational spot. As you can see, there's many locals just sitting and enjoying the Riverwalk. We are coming up on one of my favorite areas here on the right. All right, so right next to the Chicago Brew House, this is the Vietnam War Memorial. This has been here since 2005. It predates the rest of the Riverwalk. And this remembers everyone from our state of Illinois who lost their life in the Vietnam War. So all of the branches are represented here. You'll see remembrances for prisoners of war missing in action. There's the dedication from 2005 from our mayor at the time. Just want to give you a good look at this. These stairs, again, you'll notice just quite a few places for people to sit and enjoy and remember. Now we could go up those stairs to Upper Wacker Drive, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to stay down here on the Riverwalk. And I'll pause right here and give you a nice view of the second tallest building on the Chicago skyline. This is Trump Tower. This was completed by Skidmore, Owings & Merrill in 2009. It's one of the more recent additions to our skyline, right next to the iconic and classic Wrigley Tower there. Give you a good view of that, the beacon from across the river. And I guess I shouldn't pass it up. There's another spot to drink if you don't want the Tiny Tap City Winery or the Brew House. You can visit O'Brien's as well. I'm gonna pause for the siren. If you've noticed all of the metal that we're walking under as we go under the bridges, it is a reflective mirror that was added to better reflect the water as we walk, but it also serves as protection. Our bridges are from the 1920s and they are a bit old. And things do fall sometimes. So that metal, while it is beautiful and decorative, also protects your noggin. And we're coming up on the marketplace. This is like a miniature, I guess, small business and arts collective where you can pop in here and see some nice gifts, and it's always different. Really pretty. Now this is not open year-round. You do always want to research when you come to Chicago what's open and what's not down on the Riverwalk, because as you'll see, a lot of this is outdoor dining, and once it gets cold, we do typically close up for the winter. That is pretty good. I love this neighborly shop. Cute. Very cute. Cool clothes shop. Cool shop.
Thank you.
Very cool. It's called the Marketplace. Now I am under the DuSable Bridge, the most popular bridge in Chicago, because it's on Michigan Avenue and leads directly into Magnificent Mile. You can hear how thumping it is with fun right now. Directly behind me is the McCormick Bridge Museum, which I highly recommend everybody check out while they're in Chicago. It costs only a few dollars to pop in there and does not take long, and you get to explore this entire bridge house right here. If you are a nerd and you like bridge architecture and engineering, you will certainly enjoy the McCormick Bridge House. It's also, I believe right now, free on Sundays, which can't beat. Now I actually want to take you upstairs and show you a very important spot while we're on the Riverwalk. Now here at the corner of Wacker and Michigan Avenue along the river, we are standing at the site of Fort Dearborn, where in 1803 the military arrived in Chicago, and this became the farthest western settlement in United States history at the time. This is also the famous site of the Battle of Fort Dearborn in 1812, when the Native Americans, who showed us this water to begin with, gave us the tip to portage our way to Lake Michigan to save time, had been kicked off their land and said enough was enough. They had been told they were breaking treaties that they had never signed, and so in the middle of the night they did burn down this fort. Always very important to talk about the Native American history in U.S. culture, specifically in Chicago, and we are always trying to honor that history on our tours. That is the Apple Store. Now on this side of DuSable, facing east as we work our way to the lake, we are starting to get a little bit quieter, and you are also seeing spots to book boat tours. The docks past the DuSable Bridge, if you want to kayak or you want to take any boat tours, these are going to be the docks where you pick them up. There are several places, of course, along Chicago at Navy Pier and across the river underneath the Wrigley Building for Wendola tours, but a lot of them are parked right here. So this is a great spot to grab a ticket and grab a seat on one of our wonderful boat cruises. Now, if you want one of my favorite local spots, you have to travel all the way over here in the east to the Northman Pub. There are some great drinks here, as well as ciders, which I'm a big fan of. Now we are coming up on at Columbus Drive. After this, you start to get a view of Lakeshore Drive and the lake, so I will take you through there, but things do calm down after the DuSable Bridge or off Michigan Avenue. I'm going to spin around just so you can see where we came from. So right there, that big tall tower with the clock on it, that's Wrigley Tower and Magnificent Mile. And beyond that are largely the docks we just saw. And then if we continue to walk, we'll see more docks and more access to the waterway. The last spot I want to show you today, first you are seeing just a glimpse of Lake Michigan as it connects to the Chicago River at its mouth. And I want to turn your attention directly across the way to what was once the Centennial Fountain, and I hope is coming back someday soon. Centennial Fountain was added in the last few years of the 20th century as a way to commemorate the great work of the Water Reclamation Project and the Chicago Ship and Sanitary Canal, which is a 28-mile canal that helped us successfully reverse the flow of the Chicago River back in the 1800s. Back then, our river flowed east into our drinking water, Lake Michigan, and was causing a ton of waterborne illnesses at the time, and we needed to solve that. To do that, we built a giant canal on the south branch of the Chicago River, connecting it to the Des Plaines, sending it all the way south to the Illinois River, eventually to the Mississippi, towards St. Louis. So that huge project is a huge engineering feat, and we love to remember that in the fountain, which used to shoot over a 90-foot stream of water for about 10 minutes on the hour, but has not worked in the past few years. So hopefully when you visit, we've got that sorted out. Thank you for joining me on yet another Free Tours by Foot virtual tour. I hope you learned something new today and had fun. And if you are visiting Chicago soon, I hope this guide was helpful so that you can have the most of your time on the Riverwalk. Be sure to check out Free Tours by Foot, pay what you like walking tours. They're all over the world. Certainly right here in Chicago, we offer them in the most popular areas on the most popular subjects. As always, please be sure to hit that thumbs up button, click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to answer those. Check the description for our Free Tours by Foot walking calendar. Also, you'll find a link to tip your guide if you like. You can buy me a coffee. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.